Zach from apperechelon.com. I just wanted to put together a little tutorial on the basics of how I get an app made. I've seen a lot of people out there that kind of just don't know where to start, how much it's going to cost them, how to do it. It can be pretty overwhelming if you've never done it before, but I'll basically just break down in sections the basics of what you need to do. I'm planning on making some more videos of just the actual more in-depth steps that I take when I'm starting to make an app from start to finish. I'd like to do when I'm making an app right now and I'm creating a video series, so you can see everything from start from inception to the app to actually putting it on the app store, getting it out there in promotion. But for this tutorial, we start with, well, this is what we're going to go over. We'll be going over your idea research, and just keep in mind this is all going to be pretty basic. Your idea research, the things you're going to need, your app sketches, just a couple examples of some app sketches, finding a developer, and then posting a job example on Odesk. Odesk is just what I use. You can use anything from Twitter to a Google search. There's Elance, there's Freelancer, there's a million of them out there. So anyways, we'll start with idea research. So when I get an idea for an app, I usually go through, and kind of check. This is topappcharts.com. So I check what's hot right now, what's going on, what's in demand, what do people want, and it'll give you, so like up here you can take it, just if you don't have an idea for an app yet, you can take it, come right here to top apps, and this is the top apps in the App Store right now. So obviously Angry Birds, that's a big surprise, but so Deer Hunter, okay, and as you can see by that chart right here, it was nowhere and jumped through the roof. So you can basically come in and just kind of get an idea of what you are going to, or what apps categories. Obviously games are always good, but you can go more in depth than that. You can go into entertainment and see what the top ones in entertainment. Business, like say you go to business, you want to make a app. Turbo Scan, these are all paid. Up here you got paid and free. I'm a big supporter of the free. Job search, Square Register. I mean, you can go through here and just see what people are actually going for. But for this example, we're going to do a camera app. So type in up here camera in your search. Okay, so Spark Camera. This is paid. I know this is paid. And I'm not a big fan of the paid stuff, but if you look, this just came out. So let's see what they're doing. So it's a video app, similar to Snapchat. It looks like press and hold anywhere to record, release to stop, do this as many times as you like, yada yada yada. You can filter stuff. So it's just an HD video app, nothing too spectacular there. But we go to camera and free. So self-timer camera. Let's see if there's something new. Here we go. Camera Studio. What's this? Create engaging timeless photos on the go. Share in Cineverse. So basically, what I do, I always say don't hate, emulate. So obviously, this is a good app. It jumped almost all the way up to #1 from out of nowhere. I usually go in, check in the App Store. Let's see. And bear with me, guys. I'm on satellite internet. I'm traveling for work, so it's going to be slow. Nope. If you come down here, so this has got really good reviews. Great photo filter sharing and watching things, but this is right here. Oops. Right here is one of the absolute biggest mistakes new developers have. Look at the reviews of apps. That is exactly what's going to tell you what you need to put into an app to be successful. There is a million different things. If you look at apps, that'll be like, from crashes to a feature somebody wants. It'd be so cool if I could share this, or it'd be so cool if I could download it and add it as a wallpaper, anything like that, you know. Just look at these apps when you go through. I'm just, for this, we're just going to make a basic camera app. But, you know, that's what, when I make apps, I emulate. I go through, find an app that's doing really well, and how can I improve on it? How can I make this app better? Um, then from there, you know, you add a couple features. You know, obviously you change the look of the app, but you add a couple different features that users would like to see into that app, and it makes it, you stand out, and also you're, you know, filling a need that people actually have, and that is the customer reviews are the actually biggest help I've ever had when I'm developing an app. So anyway, say, okay, we're going to make this camera app. Now, things you're going to need. You're going to need an Apple developer's account. Now, Apple is not about, let's see, iTunes. Apple is not about doing stuff for free. So this is, you have an iTunes Connect, an Apple account. It's $99 a year. You get access to all their dev forums, all the betas, everything that's there that Apple will give you. Like, I had iOS 7 6 months before it came out. It's got its small perks, but you have to have a developer's account to actually post your app onto the App Store. So you're going to take a $99 hit right there. There's no way to get around it. So go sign up whenever you can. If you want to wait until after your app is done, but I suggest doing this first, because I've had apps rejected where I had to change stuff, and you're not going to know if your app's going to get rejected or what you need to change right away unless you have an iTunes developer's account. So get that done as soon as possible. Also, obviously, you need a device so you can test it, because before you go, the best advice I can give you, before you put your app out on that app store, I think you can have 100 devices with Apple's developer account. Register your family's iOS devices, your buddy's iOS devices, and when you're going to put out an app, test. Send it to them, have them test it. You know, looking for crashes, looking for bugs, what they like, what they don't like, what would be changed. It's a big feedback thing. You don't want to send an app out there that hasn't been tested and it starts crashing. That's where you get bad reviews, no downloads, and you won't be successful in the long run. But anyways, so we have the app now. We're going to make a camera app. So what I do, there's now, for the development part, finding a developer, there's a million different places you can go. I use Odesk. So Odesk is a freelance website. It is basically a lot of overseas people. You can find people to do anything. I have people on here that do my development and my design. So as soon as you get in with a few people after you make your first app, it's going to be the toughest, because you're just stumbling along trying to learn how to do it. But I use Odesk. I've used Twitter once. Go on Twitter, follow anybody that's, do a search on iPhone app development. Follow people on there. You can find a lot of freelance or startup companies. That's real easy, cheaper than most companies to do your stuff. Elance, Elance, Odesk, Freelancer, or you can do a Google search. Now, if you do a Google search, just to give you an example, iPhone app development. Okay, iPhone app development. Now right here, let's see if I can find, there's a company I talked to when I was first starting out. Right here, here they are. Fueled. iPhone app design. So these guys are the cream of the crop. They are, if you don't got 6 figures to spend, you're not gonna touch them. I was gonna make an Instagram kind of clone that I wanted to do. It wasn't gonna be super hard, I didn't think. I talked to these guys on the phone right here, and they quoted me out at $210,000. So there's, definitely some out of range people. That's why I stay clear of Google. I like using freelance sites, and after you get the hang of making an app or two, the freelance sites are super easy. You'll get a few people that you're comfortable with working with, and it's I mean I my typical app I make costs about $1,000 to $1,500. That's design, development, launch, everything. And then when you need to update, they're right there. You add them on Skype. They're right there to fix something for you. For $20, not $2,000. So I'm not a big fan of that. Anyways, so here is a job posting. I already did this, but say we're making that camera app. On this is an example on Odesk. You choose your category: software development, mobile apps. Give your job a title. I just did a basic. This is what I normally do right here too, is need iOS designer developer for a new app. Okay, now down here, skills needed. Skills needed, we're going to need a designer, so we need a UI designer. This is big. Previous work with iOS 7. iOS 7 is brand new. You can't be developing something for a dead software. So everything needs to be iOS 7 ready. They went to a clean theme, more of a less visual, not a lot of 3D elements, stuff like that. It's more of a flat theme. Apple's really big on keeping it going that direction. So you want somebody that has worked with iOS 7. And it's going to be a camera app, so I threw in camera functions. Always put in, if you're planning on doing anything social networking, like if we were going to share photos with this app, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, there can be a bunch more, but that is what I always go with, and throw that in there, because you might get a developer that's like, oh, I've never worked with Twitter or Facebook or Instagram before. And then you have to go in and find somebody that can actually implement all that. It's a pain in the ass. Good communication, which is self-explanatory. You want somebody to be there when you need to talk to them. English speaking. This is huge on this. There's a lot of overseas developers on any freelance site. You need to be able to communicate with them your idea of what you want done, how you want it done, which I'm going to show you some wireframe examples, so it's not super hard, but you still want them to be able to speak English, obviously. And then 4.5 stars plus on Odesk. 4.5 stars just keeps the riffraff, I guess, kind of out. The people that have bad reviews, obviously. And then I always put this down on the bottom, a link to the portfolio, and then October app in their when they reply in their subject line, so I know they read through the whole thing. Not just, there's people on here that just will throw 1,400 different applications, or to jobs or whatever, applications to jobs. Pay. Now here's where it comes in. I like to do fixed price, and some people might like hourly. Fixed price, I feel like I know what I'm gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay under, not gonna pay over. And usually I throw my budget up at, like, say $1,500. Oops. Okay, now with this $1,500, this is not set in stone. What you do is you'll put this job up, and then people will apply to it. And then from there, you give them, your wireframes, everything like that, and then they will give you a quote, an estimate. Can be higher, can be lower, but that's what usually I tell them right out of the gate, max I'm willing to spend